All right, guys, coming to you today to tell you guys about Crane 13 bolt covers. So what we've got here is pretty much you've got all your bolt holes. We're just taking off this bottom hole on the 14 bolt axle. A lot of guys, we have different options on shaving this axle. Some come in and shave everything down, and we're just not a fan of it because it weakens the housing so much. You see a lot of ring gear problems out of this. From the ring gear being shaved down, you also see problems out of this because the housing has deflected whenever the plate got welded. And also you see a lot of problems with the welding in a plate to a cast iron housing from some guys. You can, of course, there's some success with it, but this right here is the best bang for your buck as far as clearance is going to go and as far as easy installation. What we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to bolt this sucker on, make a mark, trim your housing off, grind everything down smooth, and give yourself that ground clearance that you're looking for that this cover right here is pretty much it's offering. So you can see we've got a lot of cool tools around here. I could put this thing in a mill, fly cut it, whatever else, make it really overcomplicated and a nice job. But what we're going to do is I'm pretty much going to bolt this thing on here, use a Sawzall, cut this puppy off, weld up a hole, grind it down smooth and flat, and get it done. The same way you can do at home, as long as you've got pretty much a 4.5 inch angle grinder, a Sawzall. You really don't have to have a Sawzall. You can cut it off with you could cut that lip off with a 4.5 inch angle grinder and a cutoff wheel. If you really wanted to, you could just grind it all the way off, but that'd be a long time. So then you're going to need a little bit of a welder to fill up this bottom hole, and then you're going to want to grind it back smooth. I'm going to show you how to do it. It goes pretty quick, but way to pick up some ground clearance out of a regular old 14 bolt that's not known for really good ground clearance, but man, you got the benefit of a 14 bolt really strong ring and pinion, and then we can go up in axle shaft sizes and everything else. So this right here, like I said, best bang for the buck there is on the market, but let's just jump right into the install of it and we'll go from there. All right, guys, so what we're looking to do is pretty much come in here, bolt the cover on, and cut this bottom lip off. Now, this is the way it would be kind of if it was in a vehicle or anything else, but I'm going to go on and take this thing since it's out, and then we can get a better camera angle, and I'm going to just kind of flip this thing up on these saw horses. So now, got the axle turned over, spun around. This is the bottom of the housing. 13 bolt goes this way. What we're going to do now, we're just going to take the cover, bolt it right to the housing, and that's going to actually, we're going to use this as our place to give us a line of our cut mark. All right, guys, so this right here is what we're talking about when we're saying the best bang for the buck. This is a newer style 14 bolt. Not all of them have this big lip, but right here we're looking at, with this mod, we're going to gain right at about 1.25 inches of clearance. So for a cover and a few minutes worth of work, you're going to have a lot more clearance underneath your rig. Got our cover all put on here. Now it's time for pretty much one of my favorite tools is the Sawzall. This right here is not the time to get greedy with this cut. Leave a lip after the cut. You want the cut to start at the front and angle a little bit back that way. That way we can take the grinder and final blend all this in. We can get rid of all this material, but we cannot cut it back on. We can always cut it off. So, one simple cut, leave yourself enough room. Here we go. so what I'm looking for when my blade's going through is that I'm staying out of my cover, leaving enough, and not letting the back of the blade get too far off in my housing. You gotta watch a couple of things at one time. Just take your time. It's going good. Here you can see that the saw drifted up this way, and then from this side whenever I come in, but I just hit it with a hammer and broke it here. But we've left plenty of good material here to where we can take the grinder now and start straightening this thing out and kind of forming these edges and getting this thing slicked down and getting that ground clearance and getting a good slick bottom that'll slide over rocks. So right here, we're digging into that bottom bolt hole that's now not in the cover. So what we're gonna do is remove the cover, take the angle grinder, turn it on its side and actually groove this out really good, get down in there to good metal, fill this up with weld, grind all this smooth. So now we've got this grooved out with a grinder. Just take the MIG welder. We're going to fill it up. We're going to start at this end and we're going to fill it up and back push the puddle back and make a good high rise on the housing right here. That way we've got material to take down with the grinder. And also whenever we come out of the front, we may even pulse weld a little bit at the last minute to build up on the front. That way we've got something to grind this down to good and flat. So right here is one really important part. Whenever you're grinding down the weld that hangs over the front, this is your sealing surface for the diff cover. Make sure to use a straight edge and see how I haven't dug a divot in here at all. So you want to keep that nice and straight. Don't go overboard with a grinder. It's even best to use a file to final finish this part right here. All right, I'll swap back out to a soft pad to clean this thing up and give it its final shape. So now we've got everything cut, welded, ground off, and cleaned up. It's time to put the cover on it and see what it looks like. Got that thing cut off and smooth. It's kind of a pretty cool when you can just kind of watch that drop right away. Now you've got a lot of good clearance for price of a cover, a little bit of time. Have fun with it.